in Ontario, California, it's Foobar Sports.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Foobar Sports. I'm your host, Josh, along with my partners in slime, DeFoo.
And the Foo. And the Fooze.
And the Fooze.
What's up?
No foobity doobity. So depressing today, is it? Thank you all for listening to us again. Again, you guys can find us at FoobarShow.com, and you can also join us in our Facebook group, Foobar Sports. A lot of stuff's been going on recently in the sports world with NFL free agency being open this last week. Big moves, new locations.
Le'Veon Bell finds a new home.
Le'Veon Bell, AAB, and OBJ find a new home. And then the Lakers just keep spiraling down the rabbit hole. Apparently, it's just you can't see an end to it.
It's not sitting well with me, blah. Yeah, but it's pretty bad right now. I want to get into the football first.
Okay.
What do you think, man? Le'Veon Bell ended up with the Jets. And, mind you, ended up settling for $14 million a year when he could have got $17 million last year.
Really?
Yeah, I honestly think it was more
It was
about
another tax bracket.
Yeah. I think it was more about the environment in Pittsburgh. I think
Which is why Antonio Brown wanted out too.
Yeah, because Big Ben is such a huge cloud over that entire organization. I mean, he's won two Super Bowls with them already so far. And he's considered like their all-time great right now because he's passed like Terry Bradshaw on like the records books. So he acts like he owns the team.
And he's brought them to Super Bowls,
You're
which
right.
is tough in the Brady era, first of all.
That's
true.
Exactly. So that's why there was stories that AB was confronting Big Ben. Like Big Ben would say, if he ran the better routes or if he ran the right routes, then we probably would win more often. And so AB took exception to that, saying, I am running the right routes. It doesn't help when you're throwing an interception to the defensive lineman. So
I forget who I heard from recently. I think it was Ike Taylor. He's a former player for the Steelers.
Yeah.
He said once that when he was still with the Steelers and they were addressing the whole kneeling issue, that Big Ben told them to grow up, and he was just like, "Are you being fucking serious?" Like he really had to walk away because he was about to get in a fight with Big Ben. Dang. So that's just kind of how condescending he is, and just really what he's going to be until
He's a jock.
Yeah, super.
He's just a jock.
Yeah. He's just an arrogant asshole.
Yeah.
And honestly, the Steelers, I mean, they still have James Conner. They got Juju Smith on the outside, but they don't have a tight end. They don't really have a second wide receiver to go along with Juju to kind of make it a little easier for them.
I think they're gonna go with a young core again. They're gonna draft some receivers,
try and rebuild pretty much,
and then see if they can either trade for a receiver or, like I said, one of their first picks in the draft, go for a receiver.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think it's time that they actually start looking for another quarterback or start developing a new quarterback?
I think they should, but I don't think they will. Because same thing with New York Giants. They had an opportunity last year, instead of getting Saquon, to draft high.
Yeah, to get either Baker
or Lamar
Josh
Jackson.
Yeah.
Perfect pick on their part. Barkley is
Saquon.
way fucking better than even those other quarterbacks.
Yeah, and that's actually a good segue because the Giants also made that big move by trading Odell Beckham Jr. to the Cleveland Browns for their first-round pick this year, third-round pick, if I'm not mistaken,
yes.
and Jabril Peppers, their top safety from the Browns from a couple years ago, drafts ago.
So still solid safety.
Yeah, and everyone was wondering what the hell were the Giants thinking? And because they had just signed Odell Beckham to a 5-year, $85 million deal last year, making him the highest paid wide receiver in the league. And he still owed money this year. Like it was just 1 year into the deal, and then they decided to trade him.
Oh, wow.
And I guess throughout the entire combine, people were asking, would you trade him? Are you guys actively shopping him? And they kept refusing it. Like they were adamant, like refusing it, saying
General
no.
manager said he did not want to trade the top receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, he straight up said, he's like, imagine, he's like, I'm not going down in history as being one of those guys doing that, trading away a player, a one-of-a-kind player, and then boom, trades him to the Browns.
Days later.
And I pulled up a funny little stat because the Giants didn't only make this move; they also traded Olivier Vernon to the Browns, who's their top defensive lineman.
And they lost Landon Collins too, right?
And they lost Landon Collins, but there's something interesting that the Giants are paying $33,656,000 in dead money to players that are no longer on their team.
Whoa!
Odell Beckham Jr. is getting $16 million this year from the Giants because they didn't trade him by the pretty much the opening of the new league year. So
the Browns pay him minimal this year. They just take on the remainder years.
Yeah. So to kind of give you guys an idea with Antonio Brown's trade, because that trade was done on, I believe it was like Sunday or Monday, the opening of the legal tampering period. The Steelers don't owe Antonio Brown any money. So there was zero guaranteed money on his contract when he traded it to the Raiders. So that's why the Raiders gave him a new contract, added 3 more years. Or no, it's still the same amount of years, but they gave him $30 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Dude. So they added to his contract. But if the Giants had done that, then they probably would not have had to pay the $16 million. But they're paying $16 million to Odell Beckham Jr., $8 million to Olivier Vernon, $3.2 million to Damon Harrison, who they released, $3 million to offensive lineman Patrick Omame, who they released, $2.3 million to Eli Apple, cornerback that they released, and then the rest is just 4 guys with up to like $300,000. So they're owing over $33 million,
which is like 15% of their salary cap.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So they have to go. They have to build through the draft. So they're gonna. That's why they're gonna use all these draft picks and stuff. But the move that really perplexed me was: did you see that they signed Golden Tate?
The Giants.
Yeah,
yeah.
the Giants
and then Golden Tate said that they're building something. So straight up rebuild in New York.
Yeah, Golden Tate was just like the Giants aren't as far off as everyone thinks. But I mean, come on, dude, you don't trade the.
They just traded their best, like top defensive and offensive DB.
Yeah, and then they lost their top safety, Landon Collins, to the rival Washington Redskins. So I don't understand what the hell the Giants are doing, but you know what? Keep doing it. I really love it. I love it because they're in my division.
One less team
for the Eagles to go through. All right, good job, Giants. Way to go. Way to tank, buddies.
Hitting back on the Browns trade, after they traded for Odell Beckham, in case you're going to be a gambling man,
Okay.
This is the first time in over 27 years that the Browns have been favored to win the division.
Yeah, I think 21-1 odds right
and
now.
they've never
No,
won
14,
a Super Bowl,
14-2.
right? They've never won a Super Bowl.
No.
I think they've won
14-1.
championships before even the Super Bowl was a thing.
Yeah, when the league first started, but that was like years ago. 50s and 60s. That's when they won.
And they were the Ravens.
No, they were the Browns. The Ravens became. So here's the story with that. The Ravens were the old original Browns team that was owned by Art Modell. Art Modell moved the Cleveland Browns from Cleveland to Baltimore because if you guys remember, Baltimore used to be the Baltimore Colts. And then there was Mayflower. The Mayflower. Well, there was the Mayflower incident where the Ursays, the family that owns the Colts, they literally moved the team in the middle of the night in Mayflower trucks and didn't tell anybody. They bounced to Indianapolis, and so like everyone in Baltimore was pissed, and they hated the Colts for a while. So then the NFL brought in the Browns team. They relocated from Cleveland to Baltimore and it became the Ravens. I believe it was like in 98, 99. And so then, because, Cleveland was such a historic team, historic city for the NFL, they didn't want to just not have a Browns team. So they started a new Browns team, which is the Browns team of today.
Right.
So it's very stupid.
And even then, there's the saga continues with the Bengals, correct?
The Bengals were the team that was owned by Paul Brown,
right,
who was the original coach that the original team that was named after for the Browns. And he didn't want them to be called the Browns. Yeah. He said, he's like, don't name the team after me. And sure enough, they did. They called them the Browns.
Right.
So then he bounced. And he's like, fuck that. I'm going to have my own team and call them the
Bengals.
Bengals.
And then he made their uniforms resemble the Browns' uniforms.
Somewhat, yeah, with the orange helmets with tiger stripes. Well, the original, I don't know if you've ever seen the original Bengals uniforms, where it's just like a black, just a plain black jersey, and then it's an orange helmet that just says Bengals, the letter Bengals on the side. So it looks like the fucking Browns. Yeah.
If they ever played together back in the day, I mean, people would just tackle anybody.
Yeah. Oh, shit. My bad, son.
Yeah.
My bad, sonny.
200 interceptions in one game.
No one knows where the ball's going.
Yep.
Tied. It ended in a tie.
Yeah. 700 to 700.
Silly.
Well, Foo, what's going on in the AAF?
Oh, your boys, Foo. Your boys play tonight.
Your boys, Foo,
the San Diego Fleet.
The San Diego Fleet play the Birmingham Iron, Foo.
Oh, man.
Metal versus metal.
Steel
biter versus iron, Foo.
Yeah.
Who's going to win, man?
I don't know.
The good old Navy?
Foo C is torn over here.
I don't know. I'm a loss for words.
Come on, man. I know you take big pride in this team.
I could not care less. Please tell me more.
They play today. The San Diego Fleet are ahead of the Western Conference. Food. They're tied for the lead of the Western Conference.
Man, I did it.
So we need this game.
Great job, Fusi.
We need this game, Foo.
This is why we play.
We're only going to have 4 games after this week, Foo.
Okay.
All right.
So we need to get her done and bring home a championship. Which, by the way, the Fleet play at what was formerly called Qualcomm Stadium.
What's it called now?
It's called SDCCU.
Okay.
Sudoku?
Pretty much.
Everyone go to Sudoku Stadium.
Except it's only 6 letters, not 9.
Right.
Yeah, so I San Diego, I don't know what the CCU stands for. Maybe like Civic Center, Civic Convention, something, University.
San Diego Convention Center / University. I don't know.
I've been unable to get clarification online too, so
well,
maybe next week, I guess, next sports segment.
Okay,
we'll figure it out. Foo, answer the dead long question: where do the Fleet play?
Where do the
You really couldn't find it online?
It doesn't say it anywhere. That was relatively easy to look up, so I was just like, okay, whatever.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, that's what's up. We'll give you an update on the next podcast how your Fleet went, Foo. It's a race to the first place, Foo.
A race to the first place.
To the first place. So do you know anything on if the NFL is going to be purchasing the AAF? I know there was like rumors.
Other than some journalists coming out leaking that it was a possibility, I only think it's still a possibility. But I mean, what a great way to have a minor league.
That's it's
because
perfect.
It brings to question and eliminates every owner from wanting a fucking revenue from a minor league team too. Oh. And this can condense it into the revenue sharing for the league. So,
and not only that, it benefits the guys that are on practice squad or third stringers.
Third and fourth stringers.
They would be going down and playing.
They can get chances to improve and get contracts or jump teams.
Yeah, I always found it a little strange that the NFL didn't have a version of a minor league.
My thoughts when I was a teenager was that's what pretty much college football is.
Well,
but
I thought
college football is its own beast now.
I thought the Arena League was technically the minor league. That's what I thought originally.
Really?
But then before I realized what the rules consisted of and how it all came down, I was just like, oh, okay, no, yeah, this is not the minor league.
Their field goal's only like 6 feet wide.
Oh yeah, in the Arena League, yeah, and they sprint at the kickoff. So these guys start at the back of the end zone, and they're running down the field at full speed already before the ball's even kicked.
Wow,
that's the Arena League. And then you have the walls. You get fucked up, dude. They used to get fucked up in the Arena League.
Yeah, there's no out of bounds, right?
No,
that's my understanding.
No, yeah, it's just you just have walls. It's like playing indoor soccer.
Yeah.
Except in a big ass football
hockey.
field.
Or playing squash.
Yeah.
Or playing squash. Get fucked.
Indoor soccer is intense. I've played that with no out of bounds. It's just action.
Dude, you use the wall to your advantage too.
Yeah, you bounce it off the wall.
Yeah, it's not
like
illegal.
a hockey would.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I used to fuck people up. I fucked up my shoulder once getting slammed into a wall.
Those people were you.
Yeah.
So right now the first place team in the AAF is the Orlando Apollos.
The Apollos.
You could say they're light years ahead of the rest of the league.
Get out now.
Just kidding.
Podcast over.
They're still undefeated, 5-0.
It's only been 5 games.
Yeah, actually, I'm sorry. Yesterday, their first loss to Arizona.
Oh,
so they're 5-1. So food, now's our chance.
Now's their chance.
Ready to pounce, man.
Yeah, the Apollos, they have a really good quarterback. He has I think through the 5 games, he already had like 1,200 yards passing and 30-something touchdowns. Mm-hmm. So he's,
damn.
Yeah, he's a beast. I don't know who the quarterback of the Apollos is, but he's been putting up numbers, and it's been pretty good scoring games with the exception of yesterday.
I see.
22-9, Salt Lake trumps Memphis. The Memphis Express, foo.
The Memphis Express.
And yeah, foo. So next,
I see. That's one thing that bugs me about the Alliance is that they just went too safe with these names. Like what? I don't know.
The Salt Lake Stallions, foo. You don't like that?
sake.
The Alabama Irons, or was it the Birmingham Irons?
Birmingham Iron. That's
The
who we
names
played
Names
tonight.
that you
foo.
give to an elementary school team.
The Atlanta Legends. That does sound like a make up your own NFL expansion team.
Yeah, it does.
Especially the colors I showed you from the fleet. Mm-hmm. They're very NFL expansion team looking.
Yeah, it looks like a Madden create your own team.
Yeah, it does.
Kinda
Which
shit.
is kind of cool though.
I mean, that's probably where they got their designs from. I mean,
So-
who are we to say no?
So, Foo, we're gonna get your swag so you can proudly display it.
I've been waiting for my swag, dude. You've been talking all the
Dude, you
all
want
kinds of-
swag? You want to stick with Indica or Kush, man. You don't want to get swag.
I think we're talking about a different swag.
Okay, yeah. We'll get you your swag, Foo. It's called swag.
I call it swag.
The quarterback for the Orlando Apollos is Garrett Gilbert. He's already thrown for 1,625 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, and only 1 interception for the year so far.
Oh.
Yeah.
My stat was way off 30, huh?
Wow.
My bad.
He times it by 3, guys. He times it by 3.
Simple math.
Simple
But that's
math.
crazy. 1,600 yards through 6 games?
Yeah, it's not bad. That's pretty goddamn good. That's a pretty good touchdown to interception ratio, 10 to 1.
Yeah, 10 to 1.
Yeah.
That's two touchdowns a game, pretty much.
Dude, if he keeps this up, then they may just sweep everyone all the way to this. What are they calling this championship?
No idea. No idea.
Well, stay tuned, people, because we'll be looking into that.
On the way, the fleet's way to the top, Foo.
They should call it the moderately sized dinner plate.
The moderate
For the championship?
Yes,
Instead of the Super Bowl?
right.
They just call it Kitchenaire.
A saucer.
Get the AAF hot plate.
Yeah, hot plate. So we'll get you some updates next week, Foo, on how your San Diego fleet swag's coming along.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Adam Sandler.
Dude, you know what?
It's crazy night.
Do you remember last week we were watching?
Interrupt.
Do you remember last week we were watching one of his newer movies, and it was kind of funny.
Just go with it.
Which
the one
one?
with Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's actually pretty funny because Jennifer Aniston's amazing.
He's a
she's still
plastic
fucking
surgeon
hot.
in it. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
And he pretends he has like a wedding ring from like this failed marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So he picks up chicks by pretending to be a guy that's just down on his luck and has a shitty wife. He's like, she just won't stop taking the
Like
pills.
these mega hot fucking chicks.
Super hot chicks, dude. Like one of them's Minka Kelly. I think that was the first one, right? Where he has like a huge schnoz at the beginning because apparently he was supposed to be like a cardiologist straight out of med school, and then he ends up switching his profession to plastic surgeon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, weird.
Nick Swarsten's in it, and he says he has like he got plastic surgery to have a bigger dong. And then they asked him like, "Hey, so have you taken it for a test drive yet?" He's like, "Oh yeah, definitely, with myself." Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's a pretty funny movie. But,
Yeah, I thought it was a good Sandler one. So
but all his other shit's just Adam. Just take a break, man. Just do a movie like
Now,
every
that guy
3
won't
years.
stop. He
go
has,
on vacation.
He has salaries to take care of. So I
Oh
think
yeah,
that's why
all his friends, man.
buddies.
Yeah.
That's
his
funny.
buddies that
One
just
of his
follow him.
one of his regulars that he had in the movie from all of his other '90s movies too was like when that mega hot chick is taking him home. He's just like, "You're gonna go with fucking Gonzo here?"
Oh yeah, the guy that was in remember the guy that he got weed from in Grandma's Boy?
Yeah.
That had the monkey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, him. He was the one. He's like, "You're
Sick.
going home
like
with
that guy.
Gonzo." Yeah, that guy's hilarious.
Great movie.
Grandma's Boy is just, oh my God, one of the greats.
Oh, my
and
God.
almost forgotten these days. You don't hear people talk about it these days.
Was Jonah Hill in that one?
I don't even know, dude. I need to check it
Yeah,
out
see,
again.
he was sucking on the lady's boobs the whole
Oh
night.
yeah, that's right.
Oh, man. All right. Well,
And he like left with his thumb up, right?
Yeah, we gotta watch that
next
movie
week,
again.
I guess we're popping it in.
We're popping in Grandma's Boy.
Dope.
Oh, what was the weed? The zombie?
Yeah.
And the grandma
No, the
had it.
Frankenstein.
Oh, the Frankenstein. The Frankenstein. Oh, and it was Doris Roberts. Doris Roberts as the grandma is
great.
Perfect
Yeah.
casting.
Nice, sweet looking old lady. And
Raymond's mom smoking a fucking bowl out of a bong.
Hell yeah.
Oh, dude, that shit was great. But actually, it's let's get back to some sports here.
we're doing sports?
We got off the
Nice
rails.
tangent, guys.
Yeah, for sure. So,
More towards NBA related
the
news.
sports?
Where is it? It's not really something I want to be talking about, but
dude, it's depressing right now. I've never been so depressed to be a Laker fan.
after signing a high profile star
Yeah.
And isn't it the first time that LeBron isn't going to
The playoffs.
too,
Yeah.
in like over 12 years.
Yeah, man, it's not looking good. A lot of people are questioning his work ethic too. Because
Is that fair? I mean, I know he's getting older. I know he has a lot of projects that he's working on right now, but look at the supporting cast too. It's not like he's
So here's my opinion on it. I feel like because you got to remember when we've had guys like Kobe, like Magic, like Shaq, Powell, all these guys that were leaders in the locker room. Like no matter what was
Guys
going
who wanted
down,
to be the vocal leader, the guy.
they stepped up. LeBron's not like that with at least with this team. Like you see him more so like away from the rest of the
he
huddle.
was very much that with Cleveland and Miami though. You can tell.
Well, with Miami, it was a little differently. It was a little different because he had Wade, and he had Bosh.
He had more
He had actual
personalities.
more personalities, more friends, like more people that are willing to kind of take the back seat and just let LeBron run the show. Same thing when he went to Cleveland the first few years because he brought Mike Miller, Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye, and like this year they didn't bring anybody that had played with him before. So they brought a lot of guys that he's never played with, that he just knows them from afar. And they brought no shooters, which was stupid. LeBron needs 3-point shooters, and the league now is mostly 3-point shooting. Like, look at Steph Curry. Steph Curry's
Still exciting to watch.
Oh, dude, it's fucking nuts. When
more suspense because it's more hang time in the air before it hits the net.
What was the game we were watching, me and you, Fuze, the other day? I think it was the Jazz. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Thunder against the Trailblazers.
Yes.
And Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum.
Threes. Three.
One after the
It's like
other.
fucking ping pong,
And
dude.
Didn't Damian Lillard hit it at the half court?
It was
like,
pretty far.
by the logo?
Like that was a 4-point shot.
Dude, it was like right next to the logo almost. He just came up, boom, pulled up, drained it. And I don't understand why the Lakers couldn't get that recipe. It's there.
Yeah.
So he doesn't look like he's in it this year. I mean, yeah, he's getting older, but you don't see a connection with him and the younger guys at all.
Well, he might be waiting for some significant change in the Lakers because as we've talked about it here before, this first year was kind of gonna get scrapped.
Yeah.
We kind of knew that, despite us being as depressed as we are right now, we knew that the Lakers were going to just write off this first year. Now, keeping in mind that the reason we're depressed is because we just wasted a year of LeBron.
And that was mostly the biggest crutch is that you hate to waste a year of that talent.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it's
And for the sake of his legacy, too. I mean, he's not going to the playoffs this year. For the first time in a long time.
Yeah, exactly. And he even said, last year, remember, he's like, I don't got to prove anything anymore. Like, I don't.
Earlier this year,
he's like, I have nothing else to prove.
which kind of made people question if he wants to compete for a championship. But you got to remember
So
too,
he's like Machado's no hustle now.
No, you got to remember too. Sometimes LeBron does shit to fucking troll the media.
Yeah,
Because he's very, I'm sorry to say, passive aggressive and a little immature about it sometimes. I don't think there's no way you would catch Kobe doing some shit like this.
No, Kobe would just be in your face and actually just.
He would just
talk
say
shit to you.
he would just straight up say we need to make changes. And honestly, I think that's what the Lakers need to do. I think they need to blow shit up, dude.
A quick little side note. The center for the Trailblazers, Yusuf Nurkic.
Yes.
Kobe in his last year learned how to speak profanity in Bosnian to talk shit to Yusuf Nurkic.
Hell yeah.
During games purposely. Like, Yusuf said during a game, all of a sudden Kobe just started saying shit in Bosnian, and he was just kind of thrown off, like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Yeah, Kobe's good like that,
dude. Kobe would learn. Dude, he knows Italian, Spanish, French. Like, this guy will talk shit to you in every several different languages. That's why people used to love competing against him.
Here's a clip of that probably doesn't get enough attention or love. This was from back in when LeBron was in the Cavs. Let me know if you guys remember this.
LeBron, how does it feel to be a pussy ass bitch?
Hey, watch your mouth, woman.
I remember.
Oh,
And I remember that thing going viral for like a week, and then it just disappeared.
I remember he was just like, "Oh, remember you?" And she was like, "I can't hear what you're saying."
I'm sorry.
Trying to be drunk.
You know she was drunk as fuck, but she got brave. She got hella brave for a second.
As he was like walking off of the court.
How does it feel to be a pussy ass bitch? Oh, LeBron. Come on, LeBron. Just step up, man. Be a leader.
No, you know what? Magic needs to step up too.
Yeah, he does. He needs to take control because Magic
Needs to get back on the court.
Yeah, no shit. No, like Magic needs to be upfront with him and be like, all right, look, we're doing this our way. You know, like he needs to take ownership of the team, like take control, take the reins back, because it feels like LeBron has his hands too much in this, but maybe he doesn't. Like a lot of people don't know what the hell's really going on.
It's either too much or too little?
Yeah, it's either too much or too little.
Because I have my doubts on Luke right now. What moves
he
is
won't
he's
won't
not doing
be back.
anything.
No, his lineup selection is bad.
That'll be key to getting LeBron's full buyback in, is to get rid of Luke.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, Magic's gonna have to step up and do it. I really think we prematurely hired Luke though, because we technically had Byron Scott for one more year, and we could have chatted up with him for a year.
And that's a result of Jim and Mitch. Remember, that was their last hurrah that year when they signed Luke, because they wanted to get back to the Laker way. And then a year, that was Luke. That was Mitch and
you're right.
That's not
You're right.
Rob and Magic's guy. And Rob and Magic had straight up said Luke's not, he's not our hire. We gave him this year. I think this was his last year, pretty much, for him to turn it around, because he said he would do it in at least 3 years, and this is the third year, and they're not turning it around.
Definitely not.
They got close last year. We got close at Christmas time, and then it just fell apart.
Honestly, the last 12 games have really decided our fate.
Definitely. Yeah.
So it could have been.
We were supposed to win every single one to get a shot, and we've just been shit in the bed.
We lost to the Knicks the other day.
We needed to. We lost. Yeah, I mean, we needed to win. I think they said 19
out
games,
of 21
out
games.
of 21, just to make it into the playoffs. There's only 13 games left in the year. Yeah, that's not happening for us.
We're 9.5 games back.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Basically, the 7 and 8 seeds and the rest between us have to all start losing. It's not going to happen because it's so close to the end of the year where teams play each other a lot.
So then that kind of brings up the question, should we just tank and try and get a good lottery spot? I mean, it looks like we don't really even have to try hard.
We don't, but I know the fucking media is going to fucking pour it on this offseason.
Honestly,
But
though,
we
we kind of
need that.
We
Yeah,
kind of
we
deserve
do.
it. The way things were handled, it's not looked well.
Everything's gone bad. D'Angelo's a fucking all-star now in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, after trading him, man, he's been
Same thing with
insane.
Julius Randle. He's fucking becoming really fucking good.
Yeah, if they didn't fuck up, with D'Angelo Russell, we probably would have kept Julius. It, most likely would have happened that way.
Yep.
Could have kept Julius
We should have just
Randle.
kept Mozgov too,
And we could have
would have been through the
signed-
contract at the end of this year.
Yeah, and we could have signed, drafted a Jason Tatum, because we still had the number 2 pick, and we wasted it on fucking Lonzo Ball.
Yep.
I would have much rather have Jason Tatum than Lonzo Ball.
Oh, our future would be much brighter right now
Yeah,
if we
it's-
had Jason Tatum.
Just a couple of choices, man. If they just kind of made just different moves, we'd be in a total
Which
different
is why we need
situation.
to execute this offseason really well.
Yeah.
And they'll have my confidence back. But yeah, I think it's time to blow the team up. If anything, they're going to keep 1 or 2 guys with LeBron and get a whole new team in again.
Most likely, they'll try and keep either Kuzma or Ingram. But, speaking of Ingram, he was actually announced that a couple weeks or last week that he was not going to be playing the remainder of the season.
Yes.
Because he had a condition called DVT, deep venous thrombosis,
Which means he has a
blood clot.
an internal blood clot
in his muscles.
bloodstream.
Yeah. So it was like it's supposed to be in like his arm muscle, I believe his like right shoulder, his shooting arm. And they say that it could have happened either from like a bruise, a really deep bruise he may have gotten that just never fully healed and ended up causing a blood clot, maybe some buildup. But recently he actually had surgery March 8th to remove it. And it was successful. They were able to remove it, and then they said that he's expected to make a full recovery before next season.
Okay.
So that's good news because that could be a potentially, life, not only a life-risking situation, but career-ending for him. Because if he has a history with DVT, most of the times it's genetic,
and he can get his career can end faster than it should.
Yeah, and because a lot of people don't remember that this is the disease or the condition that Chris Bosh dealt with towards the end of his
year. His clot was in his throat, though.
Yeah, and his heart.
Yeah.
He would constantly have blood clots in his legs and in his heart. So
that's fatal, dude.
Yeah, it is. So that's why he had to quit.
I remember when he just re-signed with the Heat, like 5 years, $188 million, and he basically couldn't play the rest of a full season. And then he retired, and then the Heat used like the player exception immunity where you can protect your salary cap.
Yeah, they didn't have to. His money didn't go on the salary against the salary cap, so he retired out of Miami Heat. So, unfortunately, though, it looks like Ingram, is out of the woodwork right now. He just needs to kind of
We just need to revamp this offseason.
Yeah, it's a lot of moves, a lot of things need to change. But what do you think about trading LeBron? Like this whole people bringing that shit up.
I think it's hogwash.
People need to stop doing that. I think that is not the solution to the problem we currently have.
It isn't. If anything, it's going to make it worse.
Piss LeBron up.
Yeah,
right.
It's just going to make it worse. You do not trade a living legend.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, you don't trade
Which is why the Dodgers
legend.
re-signed Kershaw.
Yeah,
we can't let him walk.
He's still a living legend. You know how embarrassing that would be to let this guy walk, and all of a sudden he comes back on you and just fucking embarrasses your team.
Imagine seeing him with the Yankees and winning a championship. I would hate it.
That's just depressing. I don't even want to think about that.
Touching back on change for the Lakers, the other LA team, the Clippers, man. I got some sweet digs on them.
Clip City, Chip City.
What the fuck?
Because they are en route to make the playoffs. I think it's a 7 or 8 seed.
Yeah.
They're doing very well. And check this out.
Okay.
The Clippers have been entertaining for a year or two, creating their own basketball arena in Inglewood area.
Oh, interesting.
Near the Rams and the Forum. And check this out. Actually, the Lakers and the Knicks are huge proponents against it. Specifically, Jeannie Buss and James Dolan, the two owners of the organization.
Yeah.
James Dolan owns the fucking Forum, dude. The Knicks owner owns the Forum.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why, I don't know if you know, that's why they don't have Almost Acoustic Christmas there anymore. Because of Viacom, I think something happened with him.
Where do they have it then? I thought it was the Forum.
No, they're changing it now. They're doing it at the Shrine now because James Dolan said no more because there was a dispute with Viacom, the owners of K-Rock now. So now there's no more K-Rock promotions going on at the Forum
anymore.
anymore.
Shit.
So like they have Muse, like bands and stuff can play and K-Rock could physically be there, but they cannot put any type of signage up on the walls
I think
for themselves.
That's just the thing about and that's one of the things I like about the Forum is that they just don't do advertising in there.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Like it's just hot dog stand, fucking go get a beer, but there's not like signs like it would be over at Staples Center, posters. Like there's just none of that, which is awesome, I think.
Yeah, it's not bad to have an arena like that, and that's why it's still there. That's why it's still been successful.
Yeah,
and
being there.
That's the reason why they don't want to allow the Clippers to build their own stadium because the Clippers could basically come in and fuck that up.
Yeah.
Also, the Lakers don't want the Clippers to leave in an odd twist of fucking priorities.
Well, why not?
Jeannie Buss, I guess, was someone leaked that Jeannie Buss and James Dolan were emailing over, and Jeannie Buss said she's been advising Steve Ballmer not to leave, and he's been a proponent of like, I want to leave. I want to get my own stadium.
Yeah, and it's funny because they call Steve Ballmer. They don't call him Steve Ballmer. They call him Balls.
Okay,
but with a Z, Balz. So take that how you will. Maybe a term of endearment, like, as a nickname.
Yeah.
But all indications are they're talking shit about this guy, and they're really trying to make sure.
I think Jeannie Buss was caught saying that what's wrong with Balls? Doesn't he know what I did to my brother? The one she ousted from owning the team.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not looking pretty at all.
In a weird turn of events, the Lakers want to keep the Clippers by their side, which brings me to an idea. What do you say that the Clippers just moved to fucking Seattle?
Do it. Get the fuck out of LA.
The Seattle Supersonics, foo?
Yeah.
They became the Oklahoma City Thunder. They left Seattle.
Oh, interesting.
So now Seattle can technically get... Well, they approved a new stadium, I think, next year or 2 years down the line for a new sports team.
Yeah, in Seattle. So,
Wow.
I definitely
I think they should just do it, man.
Move out of market. Look, I know...
Establish your own identity, and people will... I mean, dude, they'll have a huge fan base just to be the Sonics again.
Yeah, definitely. But then that would kind of piss off Clipper fans in LA because... Surprisingly, there are a lot of fucking Clipper fans in LA.
I mean,
I don't get it, but
they were all Lob City was a big thing to them, which was pretty cool. But also to make sure you don't forget that some people just hate the fucking Lakers.
Yeah,
that's why they're Clipper fans.
And that's the thing. It's funny. There's a lot of hate within our own city.
Yeah,
we're transient sports town. First off,
yeah, This is why LA didn't have a football team for a very long time. Nobody here is from here, and the people who are from here act like they don't give a shit, like they're too cool for school to even try to participate into anything.
It's a double-edged sword.
It's you don't really have any true fans. The only true fans you have here are fans of the Patriots, pretty much every other team, but what would be an LA team. Now, with the Rams doing as well as they did this previous season, it might, there might be some people jumping on that bandwagon, and then they're going to start to build upon that. But who knows? I mean, it's going to take a few seasons.
It also, for me too, it also has to do with geographically wise, like where you grew up. Like I grew up close to the city. In Northeast LA. So I grew up a Dodger fan, grew up a Lakers fan, an SC fan. Yeah. But it's like I know people that grew up further out, like over here in Ontario, Rancho, that are Chargers fans, Angels fans, and Clippers fans. Like they weren't around it as much, or it wasn't like in their face.
Well, the Chargers fans, for those who weren't still hanging on to the Rams
or the Raiders.
The Raiders that used to be here were Chargers fans because it was the closest team, to LA. It's a 2-hour drive.
And a lot of them, they said, fuck the Raiders. I'm not going to be a Raiders fan. Might as well be a Chargers fan.
Like DJ No Chill.
DJ No Chill.
That's his exact scenario, foo. He didn't want to jump on a Raider bandwagon.
So he became a Chargers fan for a few years.
DJ No Chill.
And then he became a Rams fan.
Then he became a Rams fan, foo.
Yeah.
Pick a team, man. Just pick a team. Just stop.
Go Fleet.
Go.
There you go.
Fleet.
At the SDCCU.
Oh,
yeah. So pretty much Colquam.
I kind of want to end off this, since Jeannie's putting her foot in her mouth recently, she's doing it again because she's coming up in rumors that she was kind of thinking about trading LeBron.
She was in support of the idea.
Yeah. Because she was upset with the way things were handled with the Anthony Davis trade, especially the way Rich Paul, Anthony Davis, and LeBron's agent handled it by publicly announcing it and kind of trying to push
it on blast.
Yeah, and then trying to push it to the Lakers.
Because remember, Rich Paul got fined
for tampering. And Anthony Davis did.
This was their doings, which really pissed off New Orleans and fucking Dell Demps fucking trying to do his own thing, and the Saints owner being involved, not knowing anything about basketball. It's been a huge fucking dumpster fire, just like Al Gentry said, and it complicates things because I do believe that the Lakers will not get Anthony Davis unless it's via free agency signing.
Oh, it's not going to happen. The Pelicans they're done with the Lakers. They will not be having any trade talks.
They will sabotage anything in the future, too, to prevent any of that shit from happening.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't see any type of... There's not going to be any love lost between these two teams going forward. There is a legit rivalry that's going to happen with these two teams going forward.
Word.
So, Anything else for us there, Foo?
That's it. I just wanted to. So where real quickly, where do you think Anthony Davis going to end up? I think he's going to end up in
Boston.
New York.
I think Boston. I think ultimately it's going to be Boston because
he's going to be moved for sure.
Yeah, the reason for me Boston is because one, they have the picks, and then two, they actually have the players. Whereas New York, the only things they got, I mean, they have the pick, so it's most likely going to be Zion Williamson.
Could be.
The
They could be
amazing
screwed.
Duke product. Yeah, could be screwed too, depending on the lottery. The amazing Duke product. He's been on fire. He's averaging like 29 points a game and 11 rebounds a game. He's just blowing up the college basketball league right now, college basketball world, I should say. But I think it's going to be the Celtics. They have Jason Tatum. They have Jaylen Brown that are still under contract.
They got Scary Terry.
They got Scary Terry Rozier. They still got the picks. So they have a larger haul, in my opinion, to get an Anthony Davis. But I think it all comes down to, it may come down to the Knicks if the Knicks sign Kyrie Irving or like a Kevin Durant, which are also possibilities
which would be insane
in the offseason. So if you thought the NFL free agency and offseason was crazy this last year, which it was crazier than it has been in years.
Wait till the NBA gets started.
The NBA this summer is going to
be so petty.
It's going to be, you're going to see a lot of different storylines play out, especially with the Lakers.
Oh, yeah.
They have to have a, sorry, Fusi, if I offend you with this, a come to Jesus moment.
Why would I be offended?
You're super religious.
Super religious, man. I know how devout you are.
Biggest atheist here. What are you talking about?
It was ironic. Yes. Get your shit together.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I think that's going to do it for today. Maybe some updates during the week on some March Madness and some brackets and bracket busting. You know what bracket busting is, Foo?
What's bracket busting?
We'll talk
man?
about it
Sounds
later.
like something
Foo.
I could do on my own.
Busting it on the bracket.
Right.
Only if you win the championship.
Only if you win the championship. Well, thank you all for listening to Foobar Sports. Again, you guys can catch us on FoobarShow.com or join our Facebook group, Foobar Sports. Thank you all again, and Foobity-dibbity.